In the summer of 1993, amidst the sprawling wilderness of the southern Siberian mountain range of Khamar-Daban, a group of 7 intrepid hikers, led by the seasoned mountaineer Lyudmila Korovina, embarked on a journey that would forever alter the course of their lives. What began as an exhilarating adventure into the heart of nature's majesty soon descended into a harrowing tale of survival, testing the limits of human endurance against the unforgiving forces of the elements. Amongst the towering peaks and treacherous terrain, a tragedy of unimaginable proportions unfolded, leaving an indelible mark on those who dared to tread the path less traveled. This is the first-hand account of Valentina Utochenko, a survivor who defied the odds and emerged from the depths of despair to tell the tale of the Khamar-Daban tragedy.
It all began with a dream of adventure and exploration, of conquering the untamed wilderness that lay beyond the horizon. Led by Lyudmila Korovina, a seasoned mountaineer revered for her mastery of survival craft, our group of 7 hikers embarked on a quest to traverse the rugged terrain of the Khamar-Daban mountains, nestled near the city of Irkutsk. Lyudmila was more than just our leader, she was a mentor, a guiding light whose wisdom and experience had shaped us into competent mountaineers. Alongside me were companions whose names will forever be etched in my memory: Sasha, Tatiana, Victoria, Timur, Denis, and Lyudmila herself. Together we set out to conquer the peaks and valleys that beckoned us with their silent majesty. The day we departed from Kazakhstan, the sun hung low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the landscape, as if bidding us farewell on our grand adventure. We shared laughter and exchanged stories, eager anticipation lighting up our faces like stars in the night sky. Lyudmila, with her weathered face etched with lines of wisdom earned from countless expeditions, stood at the forefront, her eyes gleaming with a mix of determination and reverence for the journey ahead. As the train rattled along its tracks towards Irkutsk, we gazed out of the windows, watching the scenery change from rolling hills to vast plains dotted with patches of greenery. Each passing mile brought us closer to our destination, fueling our excitement for the challenges and triumphs that awaited us in the Khamar-Daban mountains. Upon reaching Irkutsk, we were greeted by the bustling energy of the city, a stark contrast to the serenity of the wilderness we were about to enter. We stocked up on supplies, double-checking our gear and ensuring we had everything we needed for the journey ahead. The air was thick with anticipation as we bid farewell to civilization and ventured into the unknown. As we made our way to Marino, the landscape transformed once again, the city giving way to vast expanses of untamed wilderness. The mountains loomed in the distance, their peaks obscured by clouds, a foreboding reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Yet, despite the looming specter of danger, our spirits remained high, buoyed by the camaraderie forged through shared excitement and anticipation. Our first steps into the mountains were met with a sense of awe and wonder, the sheer magnitude of the landscape stretching out before us like a canvas painted with the brushstrokes of nature's grandeur. We marveled at the towering peaks and lush valleys, each turn in the trail revealing a new vista more breathtaking than the last. But as we ventured deeper into the heart of the wilderness, the mood shifted, the air growing heavy with the weight of impending danger. Dark clouds gathered overhead, casting a shadow over our expedition and foreshadowing the trials that lay ahead. Still, we pressed on, fueled by a determination to conquer the mountains and emerge victorious against all odds. It was during one fateful night, as the storm unleashed its fury upon our campsite, that tragedy struck with a vengeance. The wind howled like a vengeful spirit, tearing at our tents and threatening to sweep us away with its ferocious power. In the chaos that ensued, fear and panic gripped our hearts, testing the limits of our courage and resolve. Yet, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, Lyudmila remained steadfast, her unwavering determination serving as a beacon of hope in the darkness. She rallied us together, her voice cutting through the roar of the storm like a knife, urging us to hold fast and stand strong against the tempest. As the storm raged on, tensions within the group began to simmer, fueled by fear and uncertainty. Then, in a cruel twist of fate, tragedy struck with merciless precision, shattering the fragile semblance of normalcy that we had clung to so desperately. It began with Sasha, a stalwart member of our group, who collapsed suddenly, his body racked with violent convulsions that sent shockwaves of terror rippling through our ranks. In the chaos that ensued, Lyudmila sprang into action, her voice a beacon of calm amidst the storm as she fought to save our stricken comrade. But even as we grappled with Sasha's sudden illness, a new horror emerged, a madness that gripped Tatiana, driving her to the brink of insanity as she thrashed about in a frenzied frenzy. Desperate to save her from herself, we watched helplessly as she succumbed to the darkness that lurked within, her screams echoing into the night. Sacha, our fit and experienced companion, suddenly fell and began convulsing, foaming at the mouth. Lyudmila rushed to help, but inexplicably Sacha stopped moving. Panic ensued as Tatiana, Victoria and Timur also succumbed to violent seizures and unexplained symptoms. I was frozen with shock, witnessing the horror unfold. Lyudmila collapsed on top of Sacha, and as I snapped back to reality, I found her not breathing. The events unfolded rapidly as panic and chaos took over. I managed to guide Timur and Victoria towards the forest, but their condition worsened, and they collapsed, coughing up blood. Amidst the chaos of the storm, the confusion and fear, I found myself separated from my companions, grappling with the harsh reality of our predicament. As the winds howled and the snowfall intensified, I sought shelter in a rocky alcove, huddling against the biting cold and praying for the storm to pass. The hours turned into days as I waited in that desolate wilderness, my hopes dwindling with each passing moment. But just when I felt my resolve beginning to falter, a faint glimmer of hope appeared on the horizon, a group of kayakers navigating the nearby river. Summoning every ounce of strength I had left, I stumbled out of my hiding place and waved frantically, desperate for their assistance. As they approached, their faces etched with concern, I struggled to find the words to convey the horrors I had witnessed. Through tearful sobs and trembling lips, I recounted the events of the past days, the screams, the bloodshed, the inexplicable madness that had consumed my companions. Though my words were muddled and disjointed, the kayakers listened intently, their expressions shifting from confusion to horror as they pieced together the magnitude of our ordeal. With their help, I was brought to safety and provided with the care and comfort I so desperately needed. But even as I found myself surrounded by warmth and security once more, the memories of that fateful journey continued to haunt me, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As I reflect on my journey through the Siberian mountains, I am reminded of the countless questions that still linger, unanswered and unresolved. In the years since that fateful expedition, investigators have delved into the circumstances surrounding the tragedy, piecing together fragments of evidence in an attempt to shed light on the events that unfolded. Autopsies revealed that my companions had succumbed to hypothermia, their bodies ravaged by the unforgiving cold of the Siberian wilderness. But the mystery deepened when it was discovered that they had also exhibited signs of internal bruising and respiratory issues, suggesting that something far more sinister may have been at play. Rumors swirled of government involvement, toxic chemicals, and even psychological trauma, each theory more bewildering than the last. Yet amidst the speculation and conjecture, one fact remains clear: the truth may never be fully known.